Hello, hello. Welcome to Audio Addiction. My name is Brandon. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. Typically, I do not run these solo, but we're in a very interesting time frame on this channel slash show. So I am running these solo, and I might be handling a lot of some future deep dives solo in the month of December. So come back for that. I believe we're doing NCT in December. So pretty excited about that. But we have two artists, or one's a group and one's an artist that we are deep diving into tonight. So we're doing a little bit of a double feature. And then if we have some extra time, maybe we'll do some more. But this is the vibe. Thanks for hanging. But yeah, this is a solo mission. I haven't done one of these ever, I don't believe. So I'm pretty excited. It's going to be very interesting. I'm going to be leaning on chat a ton. So if you are in chat, thanks for hanging. But yeah, we're going to be diving into DPR Ian, which has been highly requested. And then as well as that, we're doing Limelight and Maiden, which we'll be doing after. So pretty excited about that. And then again, if we have any extra time, maybe we'll do a little bit of a fun closeout to stream sort of thing. So keep your eyes peeled. If you want to be on the know in terms of what we're doing, feel free to join the Discord. That is the best way to, get an idea of what we're doing, what's going on, all that sort of stuff. So I'm pretty excited to, have that. And our community is really rad and chill. So come hang out, be really sick. And you get to know about more about us in general. So it's always a good time. But yeah. Um, in terms of DPR Ian, I know Kaylee's given some stuff out to me. I know in one of the previous chaos streams that we had, very early on, I think they had let me know about DPR Ian. So I don't really know too much about him outside of uh, that Kaylee did send me something about that he does have bipolar, which I think is pretty interesting. And I like how he kind of interweaves it within his music as well, and just like his character as well. I think from what I liked in previous streams, I've really enjoyed his music. So I'm curious to see what the rest of it is. So we're gonna just be going through the entirety of it. So I'm pretty excited. And then after that, we'll be doing Limelight. Be doing pretty much their entire title track discography. Then we have a couple B-side performances, and then we'll be going from there. So, but yeah, thanks for hanging. Uh, all right. Well, Kaylee gave me a little bit more information on DPR Ian. He is from Australia. He's a part of the K-pop group Sea Clown until they disbanded in 2015. We went on to be a founder of DPR, which is Dream Perfect Regime. And he directs, edits, produces, etc. Everything in his music videos, along with helping other people in DPR. So very cool. And then I am familiar with DPR Ian because he was in that IU music video as well. So very exciting. If you know stuff about DPR Ian, feel free to let me know. It'd be really cool. Brandon, you remember one of those Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh! Sequel? I do remember that now. So, oh boy, yeah, now it makes sense. Um, very cool, very cool, Mr. Mime. Yep, I do remember. Don't remind me. Um, I am he is a funny Odyssey. Yeah. Oh my god, I am. But yeah, very excited. Again, if you know stuff about DPR Ian, if you want to give me some fun facts, that'd be awesome. But in terms of the list that we have tonight for at least DPR Ian, we're starting it off with So Beautiful. And then following that, we have No Blueberries, which features DPR Live and CL, which I believe, if my research was correct, I think that's a part of the DPR group. And then we have Nerves. Then we have Scaredy Cat. I believe we also have two potential B-sides, Calico and Ballroom Extravaganza. Then we have Peanut Butter and Tears, So I Danced. After that, we have Don't Go Insane, Skins, Limbo, DPR Addict, Do or Die featuring DPR Ian. So this looks like to be a feature. And then the final one is DPR Ian Saint. So pretty excited. Connie says, by the way, he has bipolar and was recently diagnosed with DID. Ooh, very nice. You can thank Kaylee. Kaylee is the one who put this playlist together. So, Kaylee, thank you for sending that over. And then also thanks to Discord for helping me out with the Limelight playlist. I can go over that real quick. So we have for Limelight / Maiden, we have Starlight, Eye to Eye, Honestly, Madeline, 2020, Tada, Uno, Dadirada. If I pronounce that incorrectly, let me know. And then we have Dopamine to close out for Maiden. So very excited. So we're going to be doing that and then a few more. Sorry, did you say Nerves and Scaredy Cats? Those were double title tracks for 2001's Mood Swings in this order's album. Okay, very nice. Ballroom Extravaganza is actually a title track / pre-release, but the music video only shows half the song. So, okay, cool. All right. Appreciate it, chat. Very nice, very nice. All right, cool. Well, I think without further ado, we'll get into DPR Ian first, and we'll keep it moving. Appreciate chat keeping me honest tonight, you know? So, very nice. All right. Let's go. We have So Beautiful to start, so let's kick it off.
Before I change again, remind me of the time when I still remembered. I feel it coming.
Okay. Liking it already. I have not listened to this one, Goki. That's crazy.
Let's take a trip down a dark place, baby. Look for me now, I'm not that crazy. Let's talk about what makes you happy, 'cause I know I'm calling for you. Come get your funky love story. I love it when the skies can't sleep. I left a message encased in me. So bye-bye, flawless ending. So beautiful. You're so
That falsetto bend's super nice.
my heart is looking the other way. My love is dropping. My heart is looking the other way.
Ooh, okay.
Come get your funky love story.
It's got a good mix to it, for sure.
So bye-bye, flawless ending, so beautiful.
Ooh, okay. All right, cool. Well, to start off, we had DPR Ian, So Beautiful. Thanks for hanging out if you are. We'll also be doing Limelight / Maiden a little bit later. I thought this was great. This is cool. I believe the only other DPR Ian song that we may have heard on stream in passing was actually his most current one. I think it was Saint was the one that we checked out on stream, if I'm not mistaken. But this was really good. I think this was a pretty awesome debut in terms of like musicality. Definitely something that if I wasn't listening to for stream, I would hope that I would probably be getting into DPR Ian just because it's similar genres to what I typically already like already. So not really surprised, but really enjoyed it a lot. It does look like in chat there was some info about some of the voices here. So Kala says that look out for the deep, distorted voice in his songs. This is Mito. Mito can actually hit a deeper octave than Ian. He often tends to have more of a orchestral sound. Excuse me. Other symbols of Mito is the eye ring and white eye, lightning, water, black, red, white, dramatic and theatrical, and a bit emo according to Ian. So very nice. And Youthful says R&B soul song. He produced it with DPR Cream. Very nice. Appreciate that. Yeah, I do like kind of the contrasts of different things. I would imagine it has a lot to do with kind of like his bipolarism, and I think that's really impressive because to me it's really cool because like I think from my perspective is like not really, obviously experiencing that. I think I look at music from a different perspective when I'm either listening to it or making it. And I feel like for DPR Ian, it's like there's so much more avenues to kind of traverse, which I think is really impressive. And like you can kind of, I don't know, you can kind of go through different patterns of how you would inherently write something like this. And I think it's cool that like his, like the extra persona that he has within the songwriting as Mito, I think is really impressive. And like, it's cool to see those contrasts back and forth with each other. And I imagine like the concept obviously only grows further as probably we get along in the songs. But I think this was a really good, strong start to that. And I like how the song kind of builds as it continues on. Like I like the orchestral elementation. I thought that was really cool, along with like the piano work and like the strings, and like it adds this sort of like waltzy kind of like again the orchestral sort of feel to it that I really appreciate. But then like seeing kind of the nuances of his voice and how he's able to kind of change it, and like how it kind of fits either with DPR Ian stuff or Mito more specifically, I think is really impressive. So I enjoyed it a lot. Also that like vocal bend that he does in the like falsetto part, I couldn't really tell if it was Mito or Ian or not, but just this way that he kind of does this like almost like falsetto bend is super nice, and I would hope that he kind of continues expanding on his like vocal abilities, which I imagine he will. But I think this was kind of a good like middle ground, and like gives you that like little dark edge that I feel like the styling of the music video portrays really well. But then also at the same point, I think it shows off more of his like creative approach as well. I think it's a good blend of all those schools of thoughts, which I really appreciate. So very, very cool, very interesting introduction. If for those who aren't familiar with DPRE, and I think it's a good basis point to begin. So Connie dropped some information. They said some info, and Ian said, he said this song was heavily inspired by the idea that a lot of times what we label monsters as monsters to be scary or wrong are usually are the most that are understood. So it depicts the idea. That's why the music video, when you first get to see Mito in his true form, that is something very eerie and creepy about it, but has a type of dark beauty aura to it. And then they also followed that up and said another thing is that is crazy to me that Ian was in a manic episode in the middle of filming this music video, so he doesn't remember what happened or how he finished his MV. That's what he said in an interview. Oh my god. Then Sarah said, Mito said, no, hold up, I want to film this one. Him and the other artists under DPR layers have a very unique / different style to where some people don't even consider them K-pop. It's always been interesting to see. Yeah, I think like the perspective of like where I feel like this kind of fits that like gray area between my listening habits of like I could understand if you like are trying to branch out musically and like emo / alternative isn't quite like getting to you anymore. I feel like this is like a good middle step to either get more into like that like pop sensibility or like darker pop sound, but then at the same point, like I feel like if you're thinking that like K-pop doesn't have more of a darker like sensibility to it, then I think DPR Ian fits that like that good point. Like it's a very interesting dichotomy, and I think it like really works well within like, again, I wouldn't consider DPR Ian to be like in that K-pop space, but I think he does a great job of kind of threading the needle between both of having like that like emo type vibe to him, and like especially within the music video perspective of things and like musicality, but then also pulling from like soul, R&B, like like dark pop music, where it's like this cool like bridging of two worlds, I'd say. So pretty impressed so far. I think this is a good start, and I'm very curious to see like how his music discography grows over this stream. So I'm sure we're gonna be well on our way after this. So we're gonna keep it moving here. The next one we have is butterflies, or no, blueberries, excuse me. I don't know why I said butterflies. I read it too fast, but here we go.
What's wrong with it? Why do you keep doing this? What? Stop.
There is a big difference, I know. As soon as I said it.
Thank you.
Enjoy your meal.
All right.
I like no blueberries in my ice cream cake. No air to breathe with that masking tape. Stop, please. I need a hostage free. I need a rocket ship. I need to run from it. I like no blueberries in my ice cream cake. No air to breathe with that masking tape.
Stop, please.
Oh my God.
I need a hostage free. I need a rocket ship. I need to run
From you,
I'm just kinda lost.
from you,
I've been looking down a lot.
from you,
I'm falling way too soft.
from you.
Now tell me when to stop.
Oh, me why you wanna be so sweet. Tell me what's in your eyes, baby. Red, green, or blue.
Welcome to the other side.
I keep losing my temper for you. I love it how you think I'm always this cool. Excuse me while I think I'm just a fool. Tell me what's in your eyes, baby. Red, green, or blue.
Welcome to the other side.
Yeah, like no blueberries in my ice cream cake. No air to breathe with that masking tape.
Stop free. I need a hostage free. I need a rocket ship. I need a run
From you,
I'm just kinda lost.
from you,
I've been looking down a lot.
from you,
I'm falling way too soft.
from you.
Now tell me when to stop.
Your motto, pass me the tea. 시끄러워, don't make me shoot. Scene full of rappers, 전부 다 말없어, so we need to go.
Ooh, okay.
Drop to the floor. 움직여, we blow. 저기서 I'm stylish, she the way we
I'm a vibe revealing me, I'm more, yeah, oh, she knows it. She's in love with me, and that's a drug and dangerous doses.
I know what your poses. Can't see straight, can't focus. Get chills when I see your old face, you the coldest.
I like no blueberries in my ice cream cake. No air to breathe with that masking tape.
Stop free. I need a hostage free. I need a rocket ship. I need a run
From you,
I'm just kinda lost.
from you,
I've been looking down a lot.
from you,
I'm falling way too soft.
from you.
Now tell me when to stop.
So now you've blown all your covers. I got this blue to make you come up. So when you think it's almost over, I got this blue to make you come up. So now you've blown all your covers. I got this blue to make you come up. So when you think it's almost over, I got this blue to make you come up.
Ah, okay. Well, this was DPR Ian, No Blueberries, featuring DPR Live and CL. Very cool. Very cool. Love to see it. This was very interesting. I love to see it. Everyone saying that I fucked up the blueberries part, so I get it. Hey, there's a blueberry monster. We're getting those vibes, which is very interesting. The real nightmare was the blueberries return. Does Chad not like blueberries? What are we feeling? Is everyone a hater of blueberries? Who likes blueberries? That's the question. I guess I'll post a chat. Okay. Song itself was very interesting. I thought this was a pretty interesting song in terms of like the production value. Everyone's saying, okay, youthful I like blueberries. Uni likes blueberries. Beacon Street, thanks for hanging. They said, I think Blueberries is the street name of some pill, not sure which one. Sarah says blueberries are mid. Kaylee says about them. Diz says they like blueberry. All right, well, thanks to either Sarah or Youthful for putting a chat. We like to see it. Cool. I do like blueberries. I do not think they're mid, so I get it. But hey, if you like blueberries, cool. If you don't like blueberries, that's also chill. It is what it is. But I think for this song is very interesting. Like, I like how the main melody choice that they're using in the song is like this very like jazzified guitar riff, which I thought was very interesting. I think CL's part was interesting as well too. The only time that we've heard CL otherwise is the other time that I've listened to CL was the Hello Bitches song that we did a live stream for. And then as well as that DPR Live I haven't heard of before, but I enjoyed his music as well. I thought he was really cool. In terms of the combination of all of them, I thought it was very interesting to see them put together. I thought for sure maybe there would have been a rap verse from CL, but I actually liked her combination with her vocals matched against Ian's vocals and potentially Mito's as well. But I thought the combination was very interesting. It really kind of had more of a chill vibe to it, definitely more on that like jazz, like 808 type feel to it, which I appreciate. But yeah, I think I was pretty impressed by like his melody choices and like the way that he produced the song. Like there like it has a kind of split off between like having like really interesting melody choices, and I think if I went back and listened to this song again, like I would probably be listening out for different things going on. Um which I definitely appreciate, and I wasn't really kind of able to notice it until like the final chorus of the song. Um, but there was some really interesting production value to it. On top of that, I really enjoyed DPR Live. I thought he had a great verse. So I thought it was super super cool. And so I would love to. Hopefully, we'll get into DPR Live in the future. But he had a great rap verse. His tone was super unique. I thought his flow was really cool as well too, and I think it meshed well with that more like chill, like vibey sensibility that the song had. So I appreciate that a ton. And then as well as that, CL, I think she had some really great vocal lines in the song. Like she's kind of got this real kind of like sultry, like warm kind of voice to her. So I think it was really cool to see her in this perspective as opposed to like her doing more rap that I've heard in the past. So this was a good combo of all the different things. I will say I probably enjoyed So Beautiful just a smidge more. I feel like that one was very interesting, but to follow this up with No Blueberries, I think was really good. So I mean, it's gonna be tough, but it was super cool. If anyone in chat knows how DPR Ian and CL got connected, I think that would be really interesting to know if you happen to know. So, all right. Connie says that some info Ian said. No Blueberries essentially depicts the idea of when you're so obsessed with something that you let that enrage you. So it talks about fear and resentment. I chose to depict it as blueberries. I don't know why. To some people, if they completely just locked on to this in a very negative way, something as small as a blueberry can appear to be a monster. This song talks about anxiety. I want to stress that out because it's really important that you treat that matter. That's important. I think that was kind of what, at least for me, was really impressive to kind of listen to some of the lyricism and like hit the way that he like puts a lot of these ideas into an interesting sort of like fashion that I wouldn't typically I wouldn't inherit those lyrics to be like depicted as like blueberries, but I think it's an interesting perspective, and I really appreciate that a lot because like I feel like it makes it almost more like palatable or like appealing in some interesting fashion that I think it just entices me to listen to it more. So I thought it was interesting. Kaylee says DPR Live deep dive in the way future. Hopefully we'll get around to it. Yuval says she's pretty solid singing too, even though she's much more known for rapping. And I love DPR Live's verse a lot. Very nice, very nice. Alex is here. Sup gang, sup Brandon. What's going on, Alex? We're here. Hello. Let's see what else we got. Kala says I don't know CL too well, but her voice on this was so nice. I agree. Yuval says that Ian, Live, and Cream wrote and produced this. Big salutes, big salutes. And Gunky says I like the first song more. Musically, I like the first song more. I agree. We're vibing. We feel it. So cool. We're gonna keep it moving here. The next one we have is Nerves. So let's keep it going. Interesting, like flanging guitar effect on this.
Hey girl, I heard you're leaving town. Hey girl, it might not matter now. Hey girl, maybe it worked somehow. That's what I'll tell myself when you lie down tonight. So many times I cut off, held on. I still can't believe I left you fine. So you came around my house and you left your marks with your fingertips. I'm sitting where you sat down, and now he's looking for something meaningless. I'm getting little nervous. I'm getting to the surface. I'm getting little nervous. I'm getting to the surface. Hi, how you doing? I heard you seem to be happy now. Hi, how you doing? Don't worry about me, cause I'm doing fine. 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 Girl, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Swear it's not a lie. I'm doing fine. Girl, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Swear it's not a lie. I'm getting little nervous. I'm getting to the surface. I'm getting little nervous. I'm getting to the surface. You're getting little nervous. Just getting to the surface. You got a little nervous of running back
nice.
to you when you wound in. And I'm sorry, I was hurting too much to know that you were standing right there. And I'm sorry, I will sing this song to you to tell you I really care. And I'm sorry, when I left you all alone, girl, I know that wasn't fair. Cause I loved you, he loved you, he loved you.
What's going on? All right, this was DPR Ian's Nerves. If you're hanging out, thanks for hanging. Very interesting. I thought this one was definitely way more in my lane of music listening. I was thinking very like early emos, which is very interesting so far. I would agree with Diz's comments. It's the I'm not okay, I promise for the 2020s. I big agree. Definitely was given some some like My Chem vibes, which was pretty interesting. I think in terms of musicality, very unique. I like how that this song, at least in terms of like lyricism of what I could base it off of, is like after the emotions after you have like a bad breakup, from what I could tell, like heartbreak. That's what Connie was saying in chat here. So it definitely was giving me that sort of vibe off the bat. So I wasn't too far off from that, which was pretty interesting. And I could definitely resonate with like the music video for sure. Definitely have been in those types of positions before, so definitely get it. In terms of musicality, I was like, I appreciate the fact that it's just his vocals, like drums and guitar work. Like it was very like minimal in the aspect of what you would typically think for like DPR Ian stuff. I like that you could hear a lot more of his like vocals in such a unique way. Like it was really impressive to me to just like hear like a little bit of like reverb on his vocals. Like the way that the guitar work was interesting as well. Like had this cool kind of like flanger, like almost choral sort of effect to it, which I thought was nice. In terms of that, I think it like allows you to kind of soak in more of the lyricism of the song. So definitely appreciate that a lot. As well as that, just his delivery, I think you could tell like I don't know how much longer after he had, obviously gone through this like heartbreak, but you could just tell that he was like pulling a lot from that like that sort of vibe. So I appreciate that a lot. I think it was super nice to hear him like pull from I want to say nice. That's probably not the right word, but like it was super interesting to hear him pull from like a darker sort of like thing that he's experienced and able to kind of like again show it off super well in this light. And I agree with like Unky's comments before we started Nerves. He had said that his singing, he's singing about real things and real struggles, and I feel like you could definitely hear that more so, in this song specifically. Where, not to say that the other songs aren't like good in that aspect, but I do feel like you could just tell there is just more of a like aptitude to sing about your feelings and like put it more so on a put it out for people to hear in that aspect. So I got to give him a lot of credit for that because I really enjoyed it. But instrumentation wise, really enjoyed the guitar work. The drumming I thought was really nice. There's like a little bit of like 808s as well. I thought was unique too. But yeah, overall I thought it was a pretty like no fuss track in terms of production wise. But I feel like it highlights more of his emotions and like more of his feelings, and I think I gotta validate him for that because that's super nice. It looks like it was also produced by Cream, Yo Ha Rim, and Amp Off. They've produced all the DPR artists. Well, big salutes to all of them. It looks like in terms of comments we got here, Kaylee says I love the vocals in this one. Kala says, yeah, he puts a lot of emotion into this song, you could tell. The home style video really adds to the theme, I think. I would absolutely agree with that. I think it works out super well. Just to kind of paraphrase Connie's comments, Ian said that he wanted to keep it very raw, emotion-wise, video-wise. The video wanted that kind of show, to show where things escalate, and people think through a heartbreak that Mito came about. It's essentially one of the things that triggered his chaotic path to become Mito, and not the trigger through a lot of relationships. Very interesting. It could be a relationship with like friends or your girlfriend or boyfriend or something like that. So I think that's pretty interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Beacon Street says I don't think he's doing fine. But yeah, I thought this was very, very nice. Like in terms of the title songs we've listened to thus far, I think this is like at least a differentiation for what you typically like would hear from him. And I appreciate that like he's so versatile in the aspect of like having a song that's like a little bit more dark pop and then having this which is more like emo rock, I would say, in that sort of catalog. So cool to see the diversity. We love to see it. Also, Biscuit, hello, thanks for lurking. Hopefully you'll be joining us for the rest of the stream. So very nice. We're gonna keep it moving here. Looks like the next one we have is Scaredy Cat, which I believe is the second song of the title tracks. Next title track is Scaredy Cat. Okay, cool. All right, let's go. Let's get into it.
Joining the manhunt.
The manhunt continues. Police reports discovering the horrific body. 6 years have passed by. Last seen at the Devil's Diner.
Railroad tracks.
Witnesses say the suspect may be missing an eye.
I think I'm scared of all the signs. Don't ever leave me alone at night. I think I'm scared. I don't know why. Just leave the
Hellified, hello.
lights on.
Thanks for hanging.
Close the blinds. Scaredy cat. Please no more heart attacks. Scaredy cat. Please no more heart attacks. I think I'm scared. I have no time. I scream out loud just to see if I'm alive. I think I'm scared. I don't know why. So leave the lights on. I'll stay inside. Because scaredy cat. Please no more heart attacks. Because scaredy cat. Please no more heart attacks. Dial 911. I'm calling from under my bed. It's hard to breathe.
Oh, that's
when
cool.
you're not there. I find everything a nightmare. Sometimes I know you don't care, but I feel like I'm disappearing in a hole. And nobody will know. Nobody
song.
When I say I will drift away, and there are clouds in the sky, and boys terrified, they might just rain on me. I'm losing my mind, I think I'll be alright. Just hold my hand, you see. I'm a scaredy cat. Please no more heart attacks. I'm a scaredy cat. Please no more heart attacks. I know that you think I'm a scaredy cat. Please no more heart attacks. I'm a scaredy cat. Please no more heart attacks.
Okay. Looks like we got Mito at the end. Very nice. All right, this was DPR Ian's Scaredy Cat. This was very cool. Callus says, I could be misremembering this, but I think Ian said that he wanted Mitos to be in this music video, but wouldn't come out, and he had to act like Mito instead, so it feels different from a lot of Mito-centered MVs. If someone in chat wants to clarify that, that'd be cool. If not, I feel like that's appropriate to kind of like have him at the end of the music video. I think that was pretty impressive, and like to kind of again ship directorially, I feel like it's an interesting kind of like ending. Like it almost feels like a cliffhanger in some odd sort of way. So I like it. The last shot leads into a B-side called "Welcome to the Show." That would make sense. So very interesting. Connie said that Curiosity killed the cat, but this song is called Scaredy Cat. It's a very light, it's different character inside of Mito. All of these songs that you see are a representation of different characters with different roles in a line of emotions that we all feel when we go into our own downs. Scaredy Cat is essentially another character that is very curious of everything, but is also scared of everything. I feel a lot of us, not every one of us, is a scaredy cat. Huh. Very interesting. And yeah, Day 6, welcome to the show. That's funny. That's also a fantastic song. I think for this one's been the one that aligns most. This one, I feel like the first song. I'm still stuck on So Beautiful. I really love that song a lot. But this one is probably a very close second for me right now. I love the instrumentation. It seems a lot more fleshed out than and it would make sense that Nerves and Scaredy Cat would be on like the same EP, because I feel like it's very interesting. It feels like kind of a continuation of like more instrumental focused sort of stuff, where again, that this doesn't detract from DPR Ian's voice or vocals in the song. I really enjoyed them, but it feels like the instrumentation in the song feels like a more fleshed out version of the song. So I think it's cool. And again, I'll probably have to listen to Welcome to the Show to kind of get that full picture. But it feels like a little bit less like 808s, like we're giving you this sort of like riff that we're gonna kind of recycle and put together in a different way, where this feels like if I was to show this to somebody like that is more familiar with like band music or something like that, like more art, like more bands, as opposed to maybe like necessarily like either a K-pop group or like a single solo artist, like I think that someone would be like, oh cool, this is a cool band, and then find out that it's just one person. I think that's pretty impressive. I mean, obviously I know he has a team that helps produce these songs, but like it seems like more of a full like package in terms of that. So I thought it was really cool. I liked a lot of the guitar work, especially at the beginning, where it has this sort of like flanger chorus sort of guitar effect that I feel like is very similarly in Nerves, but I think they utilized it in a different way in this song. And then as well as that, they added some like more like trebly style guitars, typically what you would hear like a Fender type guitar like sound synonymous with that. The drumming was also really fun. The bass groove was super underrated in this song, and I really enjoyed that a lot. I also appreciate a lot of the like the vocal nuances with this song as well. Like I think it was able to kind of explore different sorts of like vocal tones and vocal palettes. So I thought it was super impressive as well too. So I kind of like the combination of all of those different thought processes, and like this song seems the most, I feel like this would be like the most approachable like song if like people aren't into like that dark concept that I feel like DPR Ian does do in some cases. Like this one seems a little bit more palatable in that aspect, which I think can be both good and bad. But I think if you're able to see like, I think if you're like me and you're going through this deep dive of like a DPR Ian, like you can kind of see the different flavors of what he's doing, where I feel like in some cases, like if this was your first song getting into DPRE and you're like, oh, cool, he's kind of got like this rock sound or like this alternative sound. And then you go back and listen to some of his newer, like older stuff. And you're like, wait a second, this kind of has like this sort of like 808, like a little bit more beat centric sort of sound. So I'm curious to see like where people like fall into like the DPR Ian rabbit hole of like, okay, this was the first song that I heard from him and that got me hooked and still allowed me to stay on, even though like sonically I imagine he will change over time. So pretty interesting so far. But yeah, I enjoyed Scaredy Cat a lot. I thought this was super cool. UFO says same producer as Nerves, Amp Off, Yoha Rim, and DPR Cream. I think Amp Off is mainly in charge of the guitar work for these double title tracks. We love it. Shout outs. Nelfi says I'm late to the party, so I don't know if it was explained. I did hear about the that he has bipolar and then dissociative identity disorder. So we did talk about this, and then the kind of duality of that. So appreciate it, Nelfied. That was really cool. Let's see. Yuval says this album was nominated for R&B Album of the Year in the Korean Hip Hop Awards and peaked at number 40 in Circle album charts. Very nice. Kudos to DPR Ian. And Kala says this was my first DPR Ian song. Crazy. Oh, very nice. Very nice. We love to see it. Fell into newer stuff, but I was hooked with the older stuff. All right, Kaylee, let's go. Alternative R&B, pop, rock, electronica genres on this album. All right, cool. Well, no, nothing shy here, doing it all. So we love to see it, but very cool. All right, I think we're gonna keep it moving here. The next one we have is Calico. So let's keep it going. This looks like to be a B-side, I'm pretty sure. So give it a spin.
You don't know.
Most popular B-side. Okay.
I'm just another. My heart's in Calico. Underneath the midnight cold. I'm not your lover. I'm just another. My heart's in Calico. Underneath the midnight cold. Don't dig around my nose. You don't wanna be alone. My heart is lost in Calico. Oh girl, you'll never know. It's just another show. I don't want you all alone. Underneath our love like this, tell me what you feel in a kiss. I thought you would be okay. You thought I would be the same. Underneath our love like this, tell you what I feel in a kiss. I thought you would be okay. You thought I would be the same. I've been lost in your gaze, constant fogs in your way. The blue nights were heavenly. Just you and me, no certainty. You lit my cigarette up in the thunderstorm. Then you put me out like I'm nothing more. Where'd you think I was so into you? My heart is lost in Calico. Oh girl, you'll never know. It's just another show. I don't want you all alone. Underneath our love
This
like
production's
this,
so
tell
cool.
me what you feel in a kiss. I thought you would be okay. You thought I would be the same. Underneath our love like this, tell you what I feel in a kiss. I thought you would be okay. You thought I would be the same. You're so addicted to my
I like to give him that like robotic tone.
decisions. You locked yourself in this imagination. And as we draw our goodbyes, I'll be patient for your words. But you told me you had nothing to say.
What do you want me to say?
We hid in the night every day. You took my heart and snuck away. All I wanted was you.
Yo,
to
they
be
call Daft
okay.
Punk in?
But you told me you had nothing to say. We hid in the night every day. You took my heart and snuck away. All I wanted was you to be okay. But you told me you had nothing to say. Underneath our love like this, tell me what you feel in a kiss. I thought you would be okay. You thought I would be the same. Underneath our love.
Oh, that like descending synth run. Nice.
I thought you would be okay. You thought I would be the same.
Yeah, a little synth-rific. All right, nice. Ooh, this must be guitar work. Huh. All right, very cool. This was DPR Ian's Calico off of, it looks like it was Mood Swings in Order, or as acronized, Mito. Very nice. We love to see it. Connie gave a little bit of explanation. The song Calico from DPR Ian is about a heartbroken love story between two people where one of them is too afraid to admit their feelings and the other is still trying to understand their feelings for the other person. Of course, suggests that this person is kind of limbo, where they are unsure of how the other person feels. The lyrics expresses feelings of loneliness, confusion, as the other two try to figure out where they stand in the relationship. The narrator expresses a hope that the other person will eventually open up to them and understand will be found between the two. Very nice. And then Kaylee had referenced that this is one of his more popular songs in terms of B-sides. So had to have it on the list, certainly. So very cool, very cool. This was very interesting. I'll have to give this album a full listen because I thought the instrumentation on the song was very cool, very vibey, very chill. I love his juxtaposition between his vocals. I know I did mention this in the first song, but like this one feels the most notable. Like I really love, so again, I'm gonna keep saying I love So Beautiful. That's still top of the list right now. But this might dethrone this, but I'm gonna hold out. I still feel like we're halfway through this playlist, so I still got a little bit more. But I will say that this song was like instrumentally really fun. I love a lot of the synth work in this. I thought it was super cool. There's like some awesome like arpeggiated like riffs in the background, as well as that, like I like how the drumming I think is a little bit on the offbeat at the beginning, and then like it kind of just sets in like the perfect pocket in the song, which I really appreciate, because I think oftentimes like offbeat drums tend to feel like the song is in a more like progressive sort of state in terms of like music writing. Like, so I think that that's really impressive and just shows off his skill as like a producer of putting something a little bit off the beaten path a little bit. So I love that. As well as that, like kind of his juxtaposition between like his different types of voices that either whether it be Mito or DPR Ian, I think is really interesting. I kind of like the juxtaposition between those two things. Like, he's got a really unique kind of more like mid, like falsetto-y sort of range with, I would imagine, the DPR Ian stuff. And then his Mito voice has that sort of like cool kind of like suave, like sultry kind of undertone to it. And I think when it doesn't really hit me until like they mesh the two like his two sounds together, where I'm like, you know what, that's like that like harmonization between the two is really nice, and whenever you get that kind of combination between the two is really beautiful. So I'm hoping they kind of interweave it a little bit more, but really enjoyed this one a lot. I think this one's either like late night hangs, or like I would agree with you full, like the late night hangs, or potentially like a night drive sort of song. Like I feel like this one would be a real cool like back roads, like chilling. You know what I mean? That's the type of vibe I'm getting from this song, and I really enjoy it. As well as that, I feel like this is maybe just like me trying to like put my two worlds together, but like I don't know if y'all know the band like Sleep Token, but I feel like DPR Ian's voice and Sleep Token would be really interesting. If y'all have not checked out Sleep Token, I would highly recommend it. But I feel like that combination would be really interesting. I don't know if they would ever wind up coming to terms with those two things, but I think it would be pretty interesting to see that combination, just because he's got a unique, like more like R&B type vocal, and like the vocalist of Sleep Token does have that sort of vibe as well too. So I think it would be kind of a cool kind of juxtaposition that I think would work really well. And I know DPR Ian does like heavier music, so I wouldn't be surprised if potentially he would collab with like a heavier artist in the future. I think that would be really cool to see. Because I vaguely enough, yeah, Sleep Token does have a crazy look. They're really sick. Maybe we'll check them out later in the stream. But I feel like I know he does like hardcore music, because I did watch him do a video talking about like some of the tattoos he has, and he has the Eye from True View, which is this hardcore band called Stick to Your Guns. They're an incredible band, and I love them too. But I saw them post about his video on their Instagram page, and that is how I first found out about DPR Ian. So had not listened to his music, but just knew about him as a person prior to jumping into him. So I thought that was really cool. So I felt very seen, you know. Yeah, he talked about his love for metal and rock. Yeah, that was a cool video. I liked it. Aussies love their hardcore and rock music. Yeah, they do. I have a good amount of Australian homies. Shouts to the gang over there. They do love their hardcore and heavy music. So some of them are really good too. So I'm not even really surprised. Connie says, I love Sleep Token. I can hear Ian in one of their songs. That would be an amazing collab. I would agree. So I don't know if it's possible, but very interesting. And Nullify said DPR Ian used to be in a metal band, didn't he? ? So if he was, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. It wouldn't even bat an eye. It seems he has a very like rock / metal aesthetic, so totally would check out if that's the truth. He was the drummer. Okay, that's cool. Very nice. All right, cool. I'm learning so much. He was in a K-pop boy group, by the way. Very cool. Learning so much about DPR Ian. Getting a lot of appreciation for him. So, very nice. Well, I think this is another B-side. We have Ballroom Extravaganza off the same release. So, let's keep it moving. Did every side quest possible. I would agree, Goro.
Crowd has come to a halt. The birds won't sing for you anymore, not like before. When the trees are all burning, all the stars will keep on turning, and I know I won't stop searching for the moment when the world stops for you.
Ooh. This is good.
You know all the words to the play, but all I wanted was you to stay. Your time is running thin, 'cause I'm falling through the cracks under your fall. How does it feel to be alive again? Stop holding on with your dear breath. You're one step closer to me on the Ballroom Extravaganza. I know you want When the story comes to an end, will it be the same again? When all the king's horsemen and all the king's men, they couldn't put you back together again. Oh, when the story comes to an end, will it be the same again to you? To you. When the story comes to an end, will you be the same?
Oh, that was pianos in the back. This is heavily layered, and I love it. That, oh man, I don't like how that ended, but oh man, I was hoping for more. It was really, oh, so good. All right, cool. This was DPR Ian, Ballroom Extravaganza. It feels shorter. Like this song is right around a little over 3 minutes, so I'm surprised. Connie, give some more info about the song. The song is about when the world is ending, you're still looking for that perfect moment in this world and who you're dancing with, whether it could be the opposite person or just a moment where everything comes together. The world's ending, but it doesn't have to phase you because you're just so honed in on finding the perfect moment on this dance floor. That is a I mean, obviously, I know he wrote the song, but that's a really phenomenal way to put it. I think that's so cool. Man, this is like, yeah, this is probably one of amongst my favorites from DPR Ian already. I thought this was super, super cool. This says that's a song that deserves a whole extravagant orchestral 3-minute outro. And then it looks like Ian wrote it, Cream produced it. Very nice. Yeah, I agree. It gave like the ending. I thought for sure there is gonna be some sort of like big orchestral ending to the song, and it just kind of just stops, like it hits that like note and you're like, fuck. I was wishing it was more. I think for this song specifically, I was like trying to put like this sound together like in my head. I'm like, obviously I would be curious to know his like his musical influences, especially from like more of his DPR Ian stuff, but like it's so cool how he meshes this real kind of love of like electronic music and like having those like 808s and like some a little bit more electronic melodies in his music, but then is so fixated on like rock and like emo and like this sort of like more alternative style of music that I think for me at least is like kind of crossing those boundaries between the types of music that I enjoy, and maybe it's just my ability to kind of piecemeal like how I listen to music and where my brain goes, and like to see that there's an artist that kind of meshes a good amount of like different artists together that I really enjoy is it really impressive to me. I think his voice also sounded really good. I like how he was kind of getting up higher into his register. I feel like this is probably the most like vocally expansive I feel like he's gotten, from like the like nicer like warm lower ends to like these really cool kind of like higher belts. I really appreciate that a ton. For whatever reason, and this again might be more of an obscure reference again, but like instrumentally kind of reminds me a little bit of like some of like not like the main songs that we would hear off of like a like Pierce the Veil album, weirdly enough. Like I do feel like it's like a song you would hear as like a B-side. Again, I'm screaming to all of those emo heads that know what I'm talking about, but I thought it was very interesting to kind of see the dichotomy of all that sort of like, again, a lot of the instrumentation is more in that minor key. A lot of the chord phrasings are more in that sort of um like minor styling as well too, and like I can definitely hear a lot of like if he grew up on a lot of like again post-hardcore emo type music, then like I know exactly the type of type of artist and genre I feel like he's pulling from. So it's very interesting. But then at the same point, like he has such a like almost nostalgic sort of touch to his styling of vocals. Like he had to have been influenced by like older artists as well too. So it's cool to see that juxtaposition. I don't know how old DPR Ian is either, so that might also have something to say about it as well too. Um, but yeah, and then again, I just love how the song ends and gives you this almost crescendo sort of moment. I agree with Diz though. I would hope that there was some sort of like orchestral moment at the end. I think that would have been really sick too. So, um, all right, cool. Sarah and Goro got me. I like that. I got it. I appreciate that. Goofball says, I just realized everything has been in English so far. I wonder if he has any Korean music. Oh my god, that's great. Connie said that Ian said, my dad introduced me to music when I was in elementary school. He exposed me to what you would guess called hip music back then, or what somewhat considered retro, heavily into Bee Gees, ELO, ABBA, Earth, Wind, and Fire. We love that. So big salutes. I love all those artists. I had listened to them a ton as well too growing up, so I get it. And it would also make sense as well because he's 34 and I'm 31, so kind of in the same lane. He also said when it comes to my music taste, Daft Punk was a big inspiration. That was cool. I did make a Daft Punk reference in the previous song, so glad I'm hitting the nail on the head. I think a majority of it's English. IDK of his that has Korean in it, but the other members usually do that. Okay, very interesting. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be the one to beat so far. I enjoy this one a lot, but I'll have to go and give the album a full listen because I'm 2 for 2 on liking the songs on this album, so I'm gonna have to give this whole album a spin. But we're gonna keep it moving. The next one we have here is Peanut Butter and Tears. So let's keep it going.
One to the left, one to the right, and one in the middle. Immediately, something felt different.
I used to have that haircut as a
and
kid.
A lot more terrifying.
That my tooth's been wiggling for you.
Great belt.
Tooth's been wiggling for you.
Oh, I like that space. That was sick. Ooh. That 808 pause. Wait, what? How did it end there? Oh my god! Oh man. All right. This is Peanut Butter and Tears from DPR Ian if you're hanging out tonight. Oh man, that killed me. The song couldn't have ended there. Oh, it felt so abrupt. Oh man. The song is longer. Okay. I can't cry, I have class. This music video was a shortened version of the song, I believe. Okay. Could have looped it 2 more times. I wouldn't have minded. Okay. Okay, good. The song is a little longer. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Oof. Crisis averted here. Wow. Okay, first of all, yeah, I'll start it off with the editing for this music video because the editing on this went from like we were at like a nice like 6. I feel like we are now like at like an 8 or a 9, maybe 8.5. You know, like the editing on this got super crazy, so the budget must have went nuts. So I gotta give a shout out to whoever did a lot of the editing on this because there's probably like a lot of, again, for all of my editing heads, there was probably a lot of keyframes that he had to add in and do, and like his production team. So big salutes to whoever. Kaylee says, yeah, he edits it all himself. Like, what the hell? Oh my god. Too much talent. I agree. Man, I'd be sitting here forever keyframing that out. So I get it. Big salutes. But the song itself was fantastic. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I think this one, if I had to describe it with one adjective, I would say it's very textured. Like the song has a very unique kind of like sound to it where it's like, again, I know we talked about his influences, but it definitely gives me a lot of like the influences that his dad exposed him to. Like it kind of gave me like, especially more so like the instrumentation gives me a little bit of like Earth, Wind and Fire type vibes, or like even like BJ's the BG's, like that like 80s pop sort of sound. So like very interesting in that aspect, but I really appreciate that a lot. It was super cool to kind of hear that, again, that juxtaposition between the two. As well as I think musicality was super fun. I'd imagine, I don't know if he does like records all the instrumentation for the songs or not, but like the instrumentation was so cool. Like a lot of like the drum fills and stuff were really unique and stuff. And like I would assume, obviously they have mentioned in chat that he was a drummer in a metal band previously, so I don't know in terms of like if he's recording all of the all of the like bass work, the guitar work, the drumming or stuff like that. I think that would make it more impressive to me if he was doing like a lot of the instrumentation in the song. But I thought it was pretty interesting. Yuval says a guy named Garrett Tillman did the drums apparently. Okay, Garrett, salutes to you. Want to give you a shout. Great drumming. But I thought the song was very cool, like very chill, very vibey. Kind of gave me a little bit of nostalgia, but then also like the modernized touches, like that one break in the song with like that 808 stop was so cool, and like it breaks up your immersion for like just a smidge of the song, but like allows you to traverse right back into it once the song kicks in. So I really appreciate that from like a song production standpoint. I thought his vocals were really well mixed into the song as well too. I thought those were super nice. Like a lot of the falsetto tones and like a lot of the harmonies and stuff were really well put together. But yeah, I thought this one was super nice. And definitely that like, I guess it's like a vocal bend in that first part of the chorus was super satisfying as well too. Like he's got such a fun vocal, like he's got a cool like vocal delivery that I think I've appreciate more and more as we've gotten deeper into his discography. So I find that really impressive, and that he's just able to kind of do it. I think there's just like a lot of nice like production stylized choices in this song, but then also his vocals were super nice as well too. So I think it was a good combination of everything. Yuval says that Edison did the guitars and synths, so shout outs to Edison as well. Big salutes. We love to see it. Some quick comments here. Connie gave us a little bit of a rundown. Peanut Butter and Tears portrays the fading playfulness of our youth as we embark on a bittersweet journey into adulthood. But before Mito, there was Insanity. The Dear Insanity EP is a prequel story to Mito's creator, Mr. Insanity, and then this EP follows Mitos on his journey throughout the dreamlike realm known as the Other Side. As he traverses to the other side, Ian slowly begins to lose his sanity bit by bit, thus fully turning him into a new alter ego. Mr. Insanity's at the story's climax. Okay, very cool. This says, I think Ian largely considers himself as a director / editor first and foremost, in my honest opinion, or at the moment, excuse me. He originally did the editing for DPR before he had his own color stuff. Okay, very interesting. Music is just the bonus. I feel that. And then Nelify says, DPR Ian also has directed music videos from some artists, a few being Body by Mino, Winner, and Shopper by IU. I do remember he was in Shopper by IU, so big salutes. If you have not watched the IU deep dive, go check that out. And Evil says, that super quick 808 was so cool and a nice surprise. I agree. Everything seems to be made carefully with purpose, both visually and sonically, which is appreciated. Yeah, I think he's like, I think what I've noticed so far, and like I said, we're only 7 songs in, but like what's impressed me the most is like his ability to kind of, again, like hit all of the like artistic like perspectives. Like he is a musician, he does a lot of the editing, and then he's able to kind of put those two ideas to thought together, and then like is able to put together this interesting storyline that is just like interweaved between his music and his like directing and like musical abilities. I think is really impressive, and like just has this underrated, I feel like, appeal to him if you are like inherently I feel like if you are like either a music lover or you appreciate the art of creating music, like I think you're going to have a lot more appreciation for what DPR Ian does. And that's not to distract or like to discount people that just like DPR Ian for like his music, but I think if you're like a creative and you enjoy the aspect of not only creating music but creating like this visual aspect to your music, I think you're able to kind of connect with him on both patterns of like, oh, I see how much work you're putting into crafting a storyline and creating a vision, but then how it also interweaves with your musicality, I think is really impressive. So at least from my point of view as being both a creator as well as like a musician, I think I find those two schools of thought in a very similar parallel with each other. And I think he's able to kind of do those two things supremely well in both aspects. So very interesting. Ufo says he's creating one of a kind atmosphere and experience instead of just making good music, combine a lot of different facets of art all into one. So yeah, I would agree. Yeah, 100%. I feel like you nailed it. Absolutely. So we love to see it. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's keep it rolling here. The next one we have is So I Danced. So let's keep it going.
This is the latest dispatch just received in our newsroom. It seems to be a sudden general explosion of mass homicide. No further details available at this time.
There's no hellos on our way to the show. Your sweet face is turning cold as the fires begin to draw a little closer. I left all the water running at home, then drove around with a car that we stole. All of a sudden they just wanted to know how I really feel, so I just danced.
Super sick.
Roses of fly flamingos are turning into giant pink rats. Let me know how many knives are in my back. Don't get cold, your world is just about to. I left all the water running at home, then drove around with a car that we stole. All of a sudden they just wanted to know how I really feel, so I just danced.
come to this. We like them struggles. It's not your regular story. God, this shit sucks.
Ooh. I love this nylon string guitar riff.
This is how I really feel. So I just danced.
Oh, got a little more. Oh. All right, cool. This was DPR Ian, So I Danced. Very nice. Calico gave us a little information on this song. It was like the conflict between the electronic Mr. Insanity and orchestral Mito was so well demonstrated musically, makes the whole MV and song go together in a special way. We watched them battle while we listened to the battle. Crazy. Agreed. The song is only 2 minutes and 54 seconds, so I wonder if he repeated certain sections or maybe even added parts of other tracks on the song. Yeah, the ending is drawn out a lot. Okay, gotcha. Appreciate that, Kaylee. Man, I think this was really impressive, again, from a visual and like musical perspective, and to not feel like I'm beating a dead horse by saying my thoughts on this song specifically. I think, like, again, if I didn't know that like there was an inner conflict between Mr. Insanity and Mito in this kind of context, I think I would think that the song is like, you know what, this is a little bit too out there for me, like I wouldn't have been able to kind of piecemeal those things together. But I think when you have the context of like, if you have the context of like why those things are important, then I think for me, from a musical perspective, it kind of all puts it together of like, okay, if you think about this as like a musical battle, like how are you going to try to interweave these two schools of thought together? Because you have these like cool kind of like 8-bit, like interesting sort of like combination of different sounds in like the verses of the songs, and then are kind of able to interweave like these like symphonic elements, but then also like have this really cool kind of like flamenco, like guitar, like nylon guitar style musical riffings, and like putting them together and making it feel cohesive. I find that it's really impressive to kind of like see it all musically written out in an odd way. Like watching this music video made me kind of put all of those contextual pieces together, and then also seeing kind of the visual representation of like the Mr. Insanity having a lot more of the like more of those like neon colors, like the pinks, the greens, like the bright colors that you would typically expect from that sort of styling, but then also at the same point like having a lot of those darker qualities that Mitos has, which like the black and whites, and like you kind of see that kind of conflict of that being played out in the music video perspective, but then also hearing it musically, I think puts those sorts of schools of thought into perspective a little bit more. So I think my initial thoughts while listening to the song was like, I don't know if this is really good. Like, I don't think that this song instrumentally is like, it's impressive, but like I'm like, ooh, like am I feeling this song specifically? But I think once I got the context and was reading some of the comments, then it makes more sense musically now, because now you're able to kind of put those two pieces together where you're like, oh wow, now it's like a battle of these two mental thoughts fighting it out in a song. I think that's cool. Like I appreciate the authenticity to the music video aspect of it, but then also musically as well. I think that's super cool, and I think he lays it out super well. So gotta appreciate that a lot. I think that's awesome. And then Kaylee says that Mito is red, black and white, and Insanity is yellow, violet, green. These are their colors associated with them usually. And then Connie said the inspiration for So I Danced were the movies The Mask and The Wizard of Oz. I could see that 100%. Yeah, it definitely felt very The Mask and The Wizard of Oz 100%. Beacon Street says it feels like reading a comic. I would agree. It kind of gave me a little bit of like cartoon, like Batman, like Joker. Like if we're thinking about like God, I can't remember his name. Shit. But like I'm thinking of like Joker, like cartoon Batman Joker, you know. The stuff you see on like WV Kids. Yeah, Mark Hamill's Joker, yeah. You got it, Youthful, appreciate it. Yeah, like that's sort of styling, which is cool. Animated, yep, Batman the Animated Series Joker. Yep, exactly. Very cool. It says Connie also said that Mr. Insanity is met with the question of how he feels about all of this. He begins dancing, indicating he's clearly not in the right state of mind. When I started making this song, I started as Mr. Insanity, but then switched in the middle to Mito. That's why this song got completely affected. Yeah, I think this is really cool. Cool to see like the different like mental thoughts that he's going through in terms of like the writing process and like putting these music videos together. I think is like an insane look into like someone's mental psyche in a very, very like real and like almost weirdly like an unadulterated way of like seeing that perspective. So very interesting. We like to see it though. This has been very, very cool from like not only a visual perspective but also artistically as well, from like a music perspective, is really unique. So we'll keep it moving. Looks like the next one we have is Don't Go Insane, which is the next one. So let's keep it going.
I spent my night on melting snow, just turning my sorrows into pure gold. And I laugh inside, 'cause you won't know I was here from the moment the lights showed. Oh, bless my heart when the wolves take me away. Don't fall apart when I come back from the grave. Forget my charms, I'll never be the same. We've came so far, only to drift away. Oh, bless my heart when the wolves take me away. Don't fall apart when I come back from the grave. Forget my charms, I'll never be the same. We've came so far, only to go insane.
Ooh, okay.
Side when the nightmare goes. I've been feeling distant, just way out of control. But I laugh inside, just so you can glow in the dark when it's time for me. So just stay. Why don't you wanna stay? You just wanna try me out. Why don't you wanna stay? Take me away, don't fall apart when I come back from the grave. Forget my charms, I'll never be the same. We've came so far, only to go insane.
Ooh.
I waited endlessly all night, looking up at all the fireflies in the skies. I made it carefully to your side. That's when the lights turned on and you were just a light. I'm safe. I'm safe.
Oh. All right, cool. This was DPR Ian. Don't go insane. If you've been hanging out with me today, appreciate it. This was very cool. We'll read a couple comments here before we jump into it. Connie says that Tim Burton's Corpse Bride was an inspiration for the music video. Can definitely see that 100% for sure. And they also said that the song deals with false realities, betrayals. The music video showcases a nightmare realm within the other side. Throughout the EP, we can hear the howling of wolves that seems to be coming for Ian. They are used as a metaphor for his manic alter egos coming to take him over. Don't go insane. Ian keeps trying to convince himself he's sane while losing his sanity. That would also check out as well. I like there were some Michael Jackson vibes. I definitely got that. And then Kaylee said we need to show Brandon that dance cover to this song someday. Yes, you'll have to show me. I'll have to check it out. It'll be very interesting. And the ending leads into So I Danced. Okay, that would also make sense as well too. I think for this song, this one was super vibey. I liked that the beginning starts off with this cool kind of like organ sort of sound. I thought again the orchestral instrumentation in the song was really well put together. I feel like a lot of the DPR Ian songs, ironically enough, because we're recording this the week of like Halloween, these feel very Halloween. I know it's not related to Halloween whatsoever, but like it's funny that we are recording this, or at least I'm recording it on that, so it fits super well. But in terms of the song itself, I thought it was super fun. Very groovy, very vibey. I think like the bass in the song is really cool as well too. And the things that I've kind of noticed about DPR Ian now is like the theming of having these different alter egos, and like they all have a specific like musical tonality that is associated with them. And I think it's so cool that like, again, even if like you aren't watching the music video, there's still like cues that you would know of like a certain person being in this song just based off of the musical motifs that they would have, you know? So I think in that aspect, if you've been a long time like DPR Ian fan, like I think that that's really cool, and like kind of almost like, again, like this cool kind of Easter egg. If you know it already, like it just only adds to that further like immersion or understanding of the song. Because like I think if you look at it from a very like outsider's perspective like mine, like you could just listen to the song, and if you haven't heard it before, you're like, oh, this is fucking cool. I like this song. It's very groovy. It's very fun. But like there's like levels to the immersion. I think if you know that there's a backstory between each particular theme of each person within the song itself, like it only gives you that much more immersion towards it. So I really appreciate that. And like, again, if you were to just listen to this on Spotify, you're still getting the theming. Obviously, I feel like the theming is at a much higher degree if you're watching the music videos, which again, I know not everybody has time to sit down and spend hours watching videos like myself, but I think it does give you that perspective that I find that maybe like other artists don't really have. So I wanted to give DPR Ian his flowers for that, certainly. But music video is really fun. I liked all of the homages to movies and cinema and stuff. I thought that was really cool as well. I think the vocals were also really well put together in the mix. Like they hit a certain part of that like threshold within the mix where it's like directly in the center. And I think it again, most vocals are mixed that way, but like the way that his vocals kind of cut and interweave throughout the songs are really beautiful. And as we've kind of gotten more into his more current discography, I feel like the production value has gotten much higher. So I got to give him a shout for that. Shout outs to DPR Cream and obviously DPR Ian as well. It just feels more like more fleshed out. As well as that, again, the vocals were really sick. I like a lot of the falsetto lines. I feel like you got more of like DPR Ian's like higher range vocals, more like high range, little falsetto, more head voice. I thought that was super nice, and again, a different differentiator to that. And I thought the choreography in this music video was also really cool, very fun, very like spooky, and I think it works well with the song. So overall, I feel like this is a very good like complete package. If you had come into DPR Ian because this song had gone viral on like TikTok and stuff, then I feel like this is a pretty good starting point, I'd argue. So very cool, very cool. Kala says, yeah, he is great at working towards a specific theme in every aspect of the MV experience. I would agree as well too. So very nice, very nice. Definitely dig it, and it looks like this song and EP were released during Halloween season on purpose. I would fully understand that. That makes a lot of sense. So very nice. All right, we're gonna keep moving. We have DPR Ian's Skins, which is a demo, which is next. Very cool. And Kaylee has given us a little bit more information. It says, okay, so in this next MV, it is Mito's. Ian said that Mito wrote and recorded the song, plus he shot the MV himself. Ian didn't have any part in this one. Actually, he doesn't even remember any of it. When he came back, he found it and decided to release it how it was. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's keep it going. So strange. That's so cool.
To take you in. What a life it's been. On the highest wing. When I'm alone, I let my world explode. Then I'll sink the remains below. Then I keep it there until there's nothing left. I gave up long ago, so you can dream it.
That radio player is insane.
I broke down all my doors. Oh, do you see it now? Nothing was fixed at all. I never asked to be like this. I never asked to be like this. I never asked to be like
All right, very cool. That was DPR Ian's Skins. If you're hanging out, it looks like it's a demo, so very nice. I think this one is, I agree with Kaylee, it's so short, but it's packed with emotion. I agree. I was going to say, as an emo, hey, it's Goro's got it. Connie says, Ian said that it felt how Mito is a conceptual storyline through my lens. I think I never really projected the realness of how it actually feels. So I think Skins is the first ever song that embodies that. Yeah, I think this was, I think very similarly to, I'm going to go back into the playlist here and just try to very similarly to Nerves in an odd way. Like, I feel like that song is emotional in the sense that like there's not much you can hide behind it in terms of like musicality. Like this song is very similar in that aspect. Like there's not really much to like hide behind in terms of like not even like vocally, but I think like there were so many cool things going on within this song that like just allows you to immerse yourself more so in the lyricism again. And so like those moments where you have those like big like strong lyrics like Haley put, I never asked to be like this, like they hit with so much more like emphasis or effort because like your brain or your ears are like focusing more in on it. And so I think this is a really cool song on that aspect, and you can definitely feel like a lot of the emotion of it. And I also appreciate the way that like with some of like the 808s and like the way that they stylized like a lot of the bass work in the song. I appreciate the fact that both within the song but as well as the music video, I like how with the 808 part they showed that like radial like blur effect that like zooms in on like Ian's face or Mito's face, which I thought was really cool, and it adds again to that sort of like emphasis to the track. So I appreciate the kind of like again creative structure of the music, but then also to kind of like reference that visually as well, I think is really impressive. But yeah, overall I thought the song was very, very cool. I appreciate the like simplicity of it, and I think that's what it does really well. And I would hope that it kind of again encapsulizes more of like the range that he's able to do. Like I think that's what I've noticed again throughout going through his whole discography thus far. Has been really fun to see just the different nuances that he's able to have and create as an artist. So big kudos. This one is one I probably will go back and listen to again because I feel like you can go back and listen to some really cool vibes in this song. So very, very nice. All right. We're going to keep it moving here. We're going to move it on to Limbo, which is the next one. So let's keep it going. I think we'll have enough time, you fool. I'll stick it out. I ain't a quitter.
My heart down in the basement, where all the ravens take their turns, picking at what's left of. I took you out of my existence, only to crawl back into your arms, knowing how much it will take away.
Sick.
I took you out of my existence, only to crawl back into your arms, knowing it will make me go insane.
Oh. What? My God. I didn't think it was going to end there. Oh, my God. All right. I got to go back. So I have it. Oh, man. That was cool. Huh. All right. Connie says, okay, so this was DPR Ian Limbo. Connie says that what is the hybrid? What is limbo? Limbo is being stuck between heaven and hell, where it's a place of judgment. And then let's see what else we got here. Sorry, I got lost here. Neither you're neither nor having fun. The new characters, which is pretty much the climactic point of Mito at the beginning of Insanity. And it was cool because you could definitely tell like a lot of the like visual cues of that, like switching the eye colors or like switching the ties or like they're in that like double time section, like you could see the yellow eyes, which is again an indication of Mr. Insanity, which I thought was really cool. And then obviously getting that like cool kind of like EDM sort of thing, again getting back to my comments about it being very thematically like driven. I think this one does a great job of like highlighting them all really well, but having them fit in a kind of unique pattern of the song. So I definitely like that a lot. I think the one section between where was it? It was, let me see if I can find it again. There was like a cool section where he looks up at the camera and then, oh, here it is. I think I found it. Like this section here, that transition was so cool. And I think like visually as well as musically, I thought was really, really nice. Like you could tell like the Mito into like DPR Ian and like the tonal switch as well too was super cool. And like again, it's just playing off that level of theming that I'm so thoroughly impressed with, that like you have these sorts of visual cues, you have these auditory cues that like there's different moments within the song where each thing's kind of like transition into another. I think is really impressive. Sonically, I thought this one was definitely more interesting. I liked the kind of combination of the three different styles, like and how they were kind of influenced together. But as well as that, like I did feel like it was very abrupt at the end. Like the way that they kind of cut it towards the end was very interesting. I imagine it was intentional because I feel like a lot of the stuff that we've listened to thus far with DPR Ian has been very intentional. But yeah, I was super impressed by this one. This music video in and of itself was really impressive, but I think like again, if you understand the meat and bones of the song and like the theming, I think it just adds that more depth to the track. And now that I'm finally starting to pick up on some of the theming in DPR Ian, I think this one was the most immersive one, I think, out of all the songs thus far. So I'm really impressed. This was a really cool song. I'll have to go back and give it more of a listen, but I thought this was really cool. Connie also said this is one of the craziest chaotics, one of the hardest videos to do because I was actually in that state. I cannot fake that. And I cannot wait to show you guys. This is the first time we did a lot of inspiration from Jujutsu Kaisen, which is very cool, very nice. And it looks like it was also, UFO says the Raven poem by Edgar Allan Poe was an inspiration as well too. Very nice. Visual shows Ian's different personas. And then it says if his blue eyes are in a blue background, he's possessed by the hybrid. When he sees goals, he's insanity. And at the end of the music video, we're back to Mr. Insanity, don't go insane. MV, so we might dwell deeper into Mr. Insanity in DPR Ian's next project. That's cool. And I like that he's setting it up in a very unique way. Like I said, very calculated, very, very methodical. So very nice. And Sarah says, if one of the visual inspirations for this MV wasn't the crow, I'd be shocked. I agree. Very interesting. Yeah, this is very cool. I'm curious to see what's going on. So we'd love to see it. All right, cool. Well, we have a feature. This is a DPR Addict. This is Do or Die featuring DPR Ian. So very nice. Let's keep it going. Arctic, excuse me. I don't know. I say Attic. Having trouble here tonight. reading is hard when you're just one person, Gunky.
Come down to the other line. The way they move through all your heat, they never will understand that you were always my do or die.
Ooh.
That you were always my do or die. Come down to the other line. The way they move through all your heat, they never will understand that you were always my do or die. My do or die. My do or die. That you were always my do or die.
All right. This was DPR's Arctic. This is Do or Die featuring obviously DPR Ian, who we're diving into. This was very cool. I like this one a lot. I think the more like EDM, like house, like kind of chill vibe I thought was really cool. I love DPR Ian's voice in this song. I think the way that he's kind of able to interweave in this song is super nice, and it doesn't feel like they just stuck his voice over top of this like beat. I think that they really kind of like molded it super well, and obviously just being a part of DPR, I think just inherently gives you that sort of like at least thought process. So I appreciate that a ton. That kind of like cool, I don't know if I have it correct or not, but like there's this cool kind of like tapping sort of like really filtered synth. I thought that was pretty interesting as well. Just the way that this song is stacked in terms of like the production, I think is really unique. Like obviously you got like the driving like drum beat and like the bass in the back and like some bits of 808 in there as well. Like I thought that was super nice. There's some really cool kind of like more serene, kind of like more lush like synth tones in this, which I appreciate. And then also to kind of have these like really plucky sort of like more vibrant spritzes of like electronic elements in the song, I think were really cool as well too. So to me, I think it was kind of like an interesting package. And then to have like DPR Ian's voice kind of add this sort of ethereal kind of like beautiful musical tones to this track, I thought were really nice, and they feel very together in this song, which I think is awesome. So yeah, this is a great track. I think this would, like, if this popped on like a club like out in the club, I feel like this would be a super solid song to hear live. So I don't know if they've had the opportunity to play this song live, but I feel like it would just hit that much more. So very cool. UFO gave a little information. Kim Young-woo, also known as DPR Arctic, is an independent techno DJ producer who debuted under DPR on February 2nd of this year with his EP Kinema. Arctic has been a part of DPR since 2019 as a producer and DJ, and was seen performing with DPR. Very nice, very nice. The mention of the other land could be interpreted as a metaphor for uncharted territory or challenging situation. The lyrics are indicated that there are people who don't understand the depths of the connection the narrator feels, which could allude to a relationship but that misunderstood by others. The instance that you were able to do, you are always my do or die, reinforces the idea of absolute dedication and fidelity. Very interesting. Goro says, "Oh, I need to tap out already. I was nice catching you. What I could though. All right, Goro. Peace out. It's good seeing you. Hopefully, see you on Wednesday for our fun Halloween stream. So, be sick." Yuvo says this song is perfect for late night vibes. I would agree. It's got a very like late night drive type feel to it, and I appreciate that as well. And then just a few more other things. It looks like it was a sample as well. It's been used in a couple of different songs, which is cool. ZB1's Take My Hand, and then Yuche's song as well too. So very interesting. Yuche's song Awake. Okay, cool. Very nice. All right. Well, we're going to get into the final DPR Ian song, and this is Saint. So let's keep it going.
You've been lied to.
I think this was the song we listened to on stream.
What promises did it make you? A world, power, or perhaps a way out?
Full circle. I do have more context for it. Yep. Not gonna lie, that sword kind of reminds me of the Master Sword.
Will I ever let you go? Will I ever let you go? I burned everything you left in me. Then all you cried was ecstasy. And I am no saint. And I am no saint.
Oh. Oh, the panning on this is crazy.
I'm a saint. I'm a saint. I'm a saint. I'm a saint. 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 I'm no saint. 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 I'm no saint. I'm no saint. I'm no saint.
Huh. Very interesting. All right. Well, this was DPR Ian's Saint. We were just hanging out. We closed out his discography, which is very cool. Maybe we'll have to check out his album when it comes out. Be very interesting. Visually crazy. I feel like it is like the production value on the song was absolutely insane. So very, very cool. Um, I I wonder how long it took him to kind of concept. Well, I know it's probably taken him a while to put all of this stuff into a concept, but like musically, it's so impressive as well too. So, very interesting. This was cool. Connie says the hybrid rises from beyond in Saint. DPR's new character comes from the ancient times before Mito and Insanity. He is a god ruling the other side realm, but not the creator. When we see Ian and Mito with blue eyes, it means they've been possessed by the hybrid. In this storyline, we'll witness 8 lunar phases of 8 separate moons, each door a new dimension with the other side. The hybrid is trapped in a place called the Void, so he promised young Ian a wish that it becomes his vessel. Oh my god, yeah, the lore on this is insane. Ian accepts and turns into his insanity, gaining powers to obtain 8 keys that will form the eclipse and break the hybrid free of the void and conquer the other side again. It won't be easy task though, as Mito is the gatekeeper of this realm, but with Ian on his way to steal the god-killing sword, it might be an even... Oh my god. Yeah, holy shit. This lore is insane. And I'm glad it's piecemealed out pretty decent, pretty well, I would argue, in the music videos. So I feel like if you're a very lore driven person, then like it's gonna make sense to you. But I also feel like if you've been along the ride of DPR Ian, like you're gonna find more immersion to it. So, but I think that this song in and of itself is like musically it's good. I like it a lot, but I feel like it almost serves as like this backing to watching this music video. Like if I was to listen to this on Spotify, I'd be like, okay, this is an interesting song, but I feel like where in previous songs I've been like, okay, cool, it's a good 50-50 mix between the two. I think that this song is more so like, to me, I feel like is more so a visual aspect of things, like where you need to watch the music video and listen to the song, where in other cases I feel like you could take it or leave it and enjoy the music. Like the musicality just adds to the depth of this video as itself. It feels more of like agreed with you for like a movie instrumental or a soundtrack, but I also don't listen to like a ton of like, I don't feel like I listen to like a ton of like EDM or like house or something like that. Like I feel like my knowledge really particularly only comes from like if we're doing like K-pop stuff, and like the K-pop artists have more of affinity towards that EDM house sort of musicality, then I'll go and listen to it. Like, so I feel like this one is so interesting in the aspect of like writing. So I'm curious what the album's gonna sound like, and this to me feels like a really cool setup to what I imagine this album is going to be, which is seeming pretty insane as it is. So I thought this was cool. I agree with Diz. This felt more of a blockbuster OST. I agree. It feels very like, it feels like the video serves more of the purpose as opposed to the song. And that's not to discredit the song, because I thought it was good, but like this is a visual representation for sure. Connie says, I need an Ian movie right now. This lore is amazing. It feels like a game IDK. I would agree. Kind of gives game vibes. Yeah, 100%. So I think Limbo and Saint are both supposed to be on the new album that will come. So that would also align as well too. So very cool. Well, let me know if there's any other DPR Ian stuff that you would let me know that you like as well, in terms of other extra B-sides. Maybe we'll throw them on to a Chaos stream in the foreseeable future. But I want to again give a shout out to Kaylee for sending me over the playlist for this. Give some kudos to Kaylee. Appreciate it a lot. I know a lot of people have been asking for DPR Ian, so I'm glad I was able to do it. Alex and Therese would have joined, but they have listened to DPR Ian already, so wanted to do it a justice. So very excited, very cool. And And Yuval says he's collabed with DPR artists, other K-pop artists, even a song for the Shang-Chi Marvel movie. I may have already heard that one because I know my main man Keshi did one for the Shang-Chi movie as well too, and that one's goated. So very nice, very nice. Again, big salutes to Kaylee and everyone in chat for giving me some information. Much love to you